Wait till you get a load of this. I'm not normally, I go on the videos and stuff, but I'm not normally in this frame of mind. Right. In The Guardian, largest UK sperm bank turns away dyslexic donors. Britain's largest sperm bank has been turning away donors with dyslexia in what it describes as attempts to minimise the risk of transmitting common genetic diseases or malformations to any child born. In this practice brand genetics by campaigners and would-be donors, the London Spurm Bank has banned men with dyslexia or other common conditions described as neurological diseases from donating. The reason why I word this is simple. I want people to understand what I am. I'm a 52-year-old man who's dyslexic. I go for the beautiful way of thinking about the act of thinking, not just the act of spelling. I think, if everything was like these people wanted, why don't we just equate it to sort of like the perfect sky would be sky blue, okay? And the perfect child would be perfect. The only problem with that is, if you've got a perfect sky being sky blue, and a rainbow is created within that sky, well, that's going to be a difference. And because it's a difference, you can class it as a disease. Why not? What makes a rainbow beautiful is all its colours. Every single one of them. You take one colour away from that rainbow, well then you're losing the beauty of the rainbow. If all rainbows were just blue, well then you wouldn't even see the beauty within things. Yeah? Why don't you just go out now and drown Stephen Hawking? Yeah, because by these people, you wouldn't have a person who, because of the way he is, makes him think the way he is. And what he can think of, and the way he can adapt his world to make it sensible to him. The colours of our mind are the things that make us different. The shell we inhabit is nothing. Okay, if we're all blue-eyed, blonde, 6'4", body of a Greek god. Okay, and that's just the women. Sorry, little dog's getting upset as well as me. Now, the problem is, it gets me more than anything else. Because I'm 52, and if this happened, I wouldn't be alive if this happened when I was a kid. And my parents decided, they couldn't have kids normally. So they would go to a gene bank. They never did, by the way, but if they did, and they say, right, we don't want this, don't want that, don't want the other. They don't want to have this lot. Yeah? And they want to have me. It's the beauty and the flaws of people what makes them understand. If no one has fallen over and hurt themselves and scratched their knee, if one person's done that in a million, okay, then turns around and goes, I scratched my knee. How do I stop scratching my knee? Comes up with a thing to stop him scratching his knee, and he carries forward. It's normality. There's no such thing. Normality is the breadth between two separate things. Two vast reaches. The middle of that is what people class as normality. But you've got to have the men will go to the moon and the men will go to the centre of the earth, even if it's in their minds. You've got to have the women, you've got to have everything. You can't go through life just having the same, because how would we know if we've ever bloody lived? It's crazy. Dyslexia is a gift or a curse, depends on how I think of it. I think it's a gift in a lot of ways. I went to 11 schools by the age of 13. I was completely illiterate at the age of 21. I went to night school to learn how to read a book, not to the rest of the planet, but just to read a book to my daughter at bedtime. Now she works for a construction company. Okay, and she's given birth to the most amazing little angel on the planet. It's the flaws within all of us. Now the thing is, what these people forget, 1 in 5 people in this country has a problem, okay, with either dyslexia, dyspraxia, or any other dis you want to put to it. Yeah. Now if you're going to put dyslexia and reading, okay, let's just go through reading. 1 in 5 people, 8 million. Now if you can turn around and say, right, okay, let's just get rid of dyslexia as a disease. It ain't. How can you class dyslexia as a disease? It's a just different way of thinking. It's a more fluid way of thinking to me. Okay, I come up with 1, 2, 10. I don't bother with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, I may get it wrong sometimes. Okay, and the way my thoughts work is cool and groovy. But if all the colours of the rainbow were just blue, how would you ever see the beauty in the bloody thing? It's all of us that make the world a beautiful place, and all of us would destroy it. These people, 1 in 5 people, if they've only got 4 people within their offices, the London Spurm Bank, if they've only got 4 people in their offices and within the whole of their company, then they can turn around and say, okay then, well, we don't know any dyslexics, we don't know anyone who's got a dys with any, dyspraxic, dyslexic, whatever. We don't know any of these people because there's only 1 in 4 and there's only 1 in 5 people are known to have a problem with these sort of things, or not even a problem, known to have a way of thinking differently to what their perception of norm is. Yeah, normality is the majority over the minority, even if the minority is just bloody 1. Because it's true, the world is still flat, because only one bloke on the planet at one stage said the world was bloody round. But as we know now, he was completely and utterly wrong, and one day if I walk far enough, I'm going to fall off the end of the bloody thing. So normality is a fluid state which will change and adapt and progress and get on. So the London Spurm Bank. 1 in 5 people, you have people working for your company, and people who have actually come up with the way you're genetically modifying sperm and on a cellular level. They have come up with this, and they're dyslexic, dyspraxic, Stephen Hawkins. And what you're saying is, the way we actually celebrate all of the sciences in the world have come up with, we can change going forward. Change going forward, mate. In about 1,000 years, you'll have no one. For the simple reason it is the people who work for your company now who have come up with the reasons how you can do what you're going to do. It isn't where you've come from in your life. It's how you manipulate and makes you the person you are. The way you manipulate your thoughts makes you the person you are. And frankly, you go forward with this, within 1,000 years there'll be no one here who makes any art, who makes any thinking. They'll all be drones of exactly the same. And I don't understand where you're coming from. When you have people who have joined together to make science for the better, and you bring it down to the most fundamental crap on the planet by turning around and saying, you have a right to live and people like me don't. Because it isn't just me with dyslexia, it's everybody. Everybody, you're a fundamentalist scientist. What the crap is going on? These people should be more than banned. Yeah? If you're going to play with a genetic pool, gene pool, play with a genetic gene pool with prats like you. Because in the end, the people who got together to make you are the people you want to stop going forward. I've come up with the most amazing amazing thoughts within my mind. Right? And I love the way my mind works. Yeah, I get frustrated a hell of a lot about some of the things which I can't do. But then again, nor can you. If you could do the genetic London Spurm Bank, if you could do everything, you'd be pulling it yourself, mate. You won't be asking people to come in. You're going to get to a stage where you'll make your own sperm. Yeah? Now, frankly, I wasn't planning to, and I'm not going to plan to in the future, decide to go to any sperm bank and give a quick pull for the great science going forward. I think I've done enough for my kids and my wife. Really, it's crazy what you're doing. Because in the end, you're fundamentally making us all less. You're making us all less. How dare you? How dare you decide you're playing? I don't even believe in God, but you're trying to be God. Oh, I don't want a son to be... I don't want a daughter to be this way. I do not want a son to be... Actually, I don't want a daughter. I don't want a son. Yeah? It's crazy. We're going to get to the stage where we're going to be able to splice the genetic gene pool to make it where the parents are going to decide, I want 6'4", eyes of blue, blonde hair, straight, breeder for the next race of 6'4", eyes of blue, blonde. They'll have the smallest part of anyone. The smallest part of anyone is the shell they inhabit, and they only inhabit that shell because of the way they've worked and the way they've manipulated. Yeah? What you're doing is crazy, because you're actually getting inside and you're screwing up the whole, everything that makes us human. How can you have empathy for anything and anybody if you don't know where you are and how you go forward within life? Life is the community of everything, not just your structured, fundamentalist view on going forward. The smallest distance between any line, between two spots, isn't a straight line. It's the one of least resistance. And the least resistance means you're going to have the beauty of finding out a different way, finding out different things from different people. If we're all the bloody same, how can you find out something different? I could keep on going for hours, but I think you've got my message. This is truly screwed up, that this is allowed to go on in any place on the planet, let alone in London. This needs to be banned, and more than that, the people who actually have turned round, the directors on this company who have turned round and made this, should be taken and not allowed to be in any part, anywhere on the planet, to do with genetics. Because the next Frankenstein isn't going to be an arm from there, a leg from there, a head from there. It's going to be the 6'4", eyes of blue, blonde haired, body of a Greek god, brain that can be controlled. This is from Paul Ross and my dyslexic thoughts in words. To everyone out there who loves rainbows, you cannot ever agree with going somewhere and asking to just have a blue sky. You just can't.